And what do you think? How much you think academics should play?
Um, I do think academics play a large part, but by the time you go into high school, now I'm assuming that all of these schools at least address the basic needs, can get you your core
Okay.
curriculum, can has a guidance department that knows, what the correct form is to submit to the clearinghouse and all that stuff. Let's assume that each of your schools, that you're going to choose from, they do know how to do the right thing. At that point, your educational foundation is there.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter if you go to, St. Peter's Prep or if you go to Snyder High School. If your educational, and I'm not knocking Snyder High School, please, but if your educational foundation is there, when you go to Snyder High School, you're gonna get the most out of Snyder High School that you can. And if you go to St. Peter's Prep, you're gonna get the most out of if you have that foundation already.
Okay.
So I think that should already be figured out if your kid is academically inclined or has the drive to keep their academics up like they do on the basketball court.
Okay, I hear that part. Now, I always had this theory with myself, and tell me, do you agree? Some people will have the theory of you should go to a powerhouse high school and AAU team. I always say you only need one or the other. You don't really need both. And what's your theory on that?
I agree with that. You don't need both. It's great to
Uh-huh.
have both, but you need one or the other. And I'll give you a great example. You could be you could be on an average local AAU team, but go to a St. Pat's, St. Anthony's, or a Roselle Catholic, and be okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to Snyder High School, and if you play for the players, or you play for Sports U, or you play for team final, you're good,
Mm-hmm.
because once the college coaches see you, they're going to come find you regardless of where you are.
Yeah. So, and you have ventured from the players a little bit and started your own organization. How was that experience when you did that?
Well,
And was your son involved with it?
Kyle really wasn't involved in it. Kyle made it clear to me. He said, "Dad, whatever money you need, I'll give it to you." But he
Okay.
said, "Dad, I'm a player. I'm not straying away from the players. That's who I am. That's He
Uh-huh.
said, you can have any money you want from me." So it really was, Mark Jarrell Wright, and me supporting Mark, whether it be financially, with advice. And I thought Mark did a tremendous job. I thought Mark did a
Mm-hmm.
tremendous job. Um, we do now want to start a slow mo uh, team all star or team slow mo or something like that in the next coming years,
Okay.
and Mark will be able to assist
Yeah.
in that. You know,
Okay.
when the venture comes up, I haven't asked him. I hope he ain't on here, um, because I just said that I wanted him to help, and I ain't even asked him yet.
Uh, I got another question for you. When he first got drafted to the Spurs, right?
Yes.
And he didn't play immediately. And from a kid that his whole life never experienced that, how did he get through that mentally? Because a lot of kids don't really face that until maybe college or that kind of situation. How did he get through that mentally?
You know what? That's a great question, because if I had to find one fault with the raising of little Kyle basketball wise, I would say that I never put him in a position to face adversity.
Mm,
He was always put in a position where he could win. Now, not saying you would win, but you
mm-hmm.
always, I'm calling a spade a spade. I always put him with a team that had good scores, because
Okay.
he's a point guard and he would find, scores, and you can win that way. It was tough on him. It was, because he never faced adversity. He had never been on the court simply because he knows how to play the game better than everybody else. Now
Okay.
he's on the court with guys who know how to play the game just as well as he does. and then athleticism and shooting ability comes on, two things that he lacks. And it was tough for him. It was tough, and that's where the father part comes in, and the late phone calls and I didn't become a cheerleader to him. I was still the person who kicked him in the butt, but now you got to kick him in the butt with a little praise, along with it. It can't be a flat, just get it done. It has to be, well, here's son, here's how we're going to get it done, So I had to change my role a little bit.
Yeah.